trash talk or stuff that you feel that we don't, being where we are?
I wouldn't say I had a front row seat. I kind of was like out there playing, but
This is a tough night for some of the reporters. Someone, I'm not sure who, asked Jordan Bell how much he's learned from an older established player like Kevon Looney. And Jordan Bell's had to just say, I'm older than Kevon Looney. But there's Clay. I understand what the reporter was saying, being out there.
What was he saying?
He was saying, because
you're right there watching him.
Guys get asked that.
To watch it.
Guys get asked that a lot. You had a front row seat to this battle, even if guys played in the game. Clay didn't want to go along with it, but we've heard that. It's not like he's the first person.
No, it's not the first dumb question. You're right.
Okay. Well, I mean, I understand the point that the reporter was getting at. Clay was just not.
That's the
in
day.
the mood.
Today is our day to cover up for questions, reporters, everything. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. Time now for your AT&T wake-up call. Bad news for the Arizona Cardinals. Patrick Peterson suspended for 6 games for violating the performance-enhancing drug policy. Peterson said he was definitely sorry for what happened. Steve, what's your reaction to this?
I was really disappointed. I've been knowing Pat a long time. He's a South Florida kid. Played against him, coached against him. Great kid, great family. But I was disappointed in not getting an explanation. Pat Peterson's one of the top 10 athletes we've had playing in the NFL, been one of the best corners in the NFL the last 10 years. He's got an amazing body. I thought that he should have made some type of explanation of what happened to be able to give the public, because he's got a huge fan base out there that's left in, man, all this, well, what happened? Has he been on PDs? 8 Pro Bowls. Is it assisted by the PED? So, to me, I was disappointed.
And I know you have a very hard line on performance-enhancing drugs. I do think that if fans are concerned about this, the league tests very stringently for these substances. So it'd be very difficult for him to have been on them his entire career and get away with it. What I read was he's dealt with type 2 diabetes. He said he was dealing with some lethargy, some lack of energy, and took something he shouldn't have taken, but has not outlined exactly what he took. It's not an explanation, or it's not an excuse. It might be a bit of an explanation, but for guys that have your mindset on performance-enhancing drugs, which is pretty black and white, he obviously has some making up to do, so to speak.
All right, back to the NBA. Lakers still recruiting a free agent to pair with LeBron. However, rival executives believe they could actually get a big 3 by signing Kyrie Irving and trading for Anthony Davis. Nick, could this happen?
I mean, it could. You would almost have to renounce all rights to anyone on the team other than the players you trade for Anthony Davis. And
real slim.
I mean, it is just like for the Knicks. It's very difficult to fit these 3 players under the cap. It's a little easier for the Knicks because Kevin Durant's salary, assuming Kevin Durant was there instead of LeBron James, he's making a few $1 million less next year than LeBron is making right now.
And then the Knicks need some help to get another team involved in there.
I think they would in order to trade for Anthony Davis. But this is the pipe dream for both the Lakers and the Knicks. It's not just trade for Anthony Davis. It's get Kyrie to come along with them, and that would be as talented of a big 3. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kyrie, or KD, Anthony Davis, Kyrie, as we've seen in the league.
I just want some of the basics. I just want to start with LeBron adding 1 star. Yeah. Let's start with a big 2.
Yeah.
All right? Like, I'll take a big 2 and some young players. Like, thinking there's going to be an actual big 3 in this new NBA because KD leaves Golden State. Do you need a 3 like that? It's going to be hard to pull off.
I think it'd be better for the NBA if, for both KD and LeBron, they just get one great teammate. I think we get back to a bunch of teams feeling like they have a real shot at it.
All right, let's get back to the Western Conference Finals. Warriors rallied from down 17 to beat the Blazers in Game 2 last night. Another great game from Steph Curry, 37 points in the win. Nick, how impressive was Steph?
He was spectacular, and the 37 points don't really even show the entire impact because aside from the few times his brother stole the ball from him, Steph's impact was felt getting guys open dunks. The way you saw guys, the Blazers, I don't want to say they overcorrected to their Game 1 where they didn't pay enough attention to Steph, but they nearly did by trailing him with 2 guys at times where the Warriors were getting open layups. The Warriors may not be better without Kevin Durant, but Steph Curry elevates his game when necessary without Kevin Durant. You saw that again last night.
Yeah, Steph made some great adjustments to what they were trying to do. instead of giving up the ball, he started dribbling the ball through penetration, breaking down the double team, and also he wasn't settling for the jump shot. So great job by Steph, realizing they're going to do something different. And to me, this was a better game than how he performed in game number 1 because he made the adjustments and broke down their defense. Why would he go back to Duke and jeopardize his body and jeopardize the ability to be the number 1 pick? Because a year ago, Zion was the number 3 recruit in high school basketball. All right? Now he's the number 1 pick. He goes back to college. Oh, it can only get worse.
And so I think we discussed yesterday, and it's nice that his stepdad confirmed it, that it was never
Stepdaddy, man.
That is okay. Thank you. That it was never even on the table. Now, to try to directly answer your question about can he be an all-star, sir, help side defender, run the court in transition and semi-transition, and kick people's heads in on the offensive boards. Now, that will be his biggest adjustment, not the shooting. The shooting he's going to just have to improve on. The fact that how much taller guys are in the NBA than college basketball, well, I don't think the bulk of guys is going to have as much of an impact for him because he's going to be as bulky as just about any of them. But he's 6'7". So I've brought up the Blake Griffin comparisons quite a bit, that Blake, his rookie year, was 23 and 12. Now he had the redshirt year similar to Ben Simmons where he got hurt his rookie year, so he was a little bit older than Zion is. But Blake is 6'10". So Blake had the edge as far as he could jump like Zion, but he was taller. But I think Zion's going to be 20 and 10. I think Zion is going to, because they're going to revolve their offense around him to a degree, I think he's going to be an instant impact guy. I don't think the people on TV that say Zion is already one of the 50 best players in the world are wrong. I think that he will show that this season.
Yeah, I think that what you said, a couple points, very key. Alvin Gentry is the coach. He's very excited. You could see in the draft room, very excited. He knew that first pick. He knew who he was going to be working with. So his ability to develop him and David Griffin, the type of players that they will put around Zion, that his game can develop the right way. Those are the things that I have the most confidence in. I don't totally disagree with you as far as running an offense around Zion. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put that type of pressure on him. And he's not skilled enough on the offensive end to be able to run an offense around him. He doesn't have a low post game, and he's only got a set shot and has no intermediate game. So I could run some plays for him, but I got to get out in transition. That's how. You go get a rebound. You go get you an offensive rebound. That's the best play that I can call for you, especially with his skill set. Those are the things and how he impacts the game early.
Just quickly, we keep talking about the basketball transition and the adjustments he's going to have to make. Is anyone concerned with the emotional adjustments of going from a guy who was a great player from South Carolina that some of the country knew to a face now everyone's going to know wherever he goes?
He
Does
dealt
that
with
impact
that
the
at
game?
Duke.
Not nearly the same level as he will on the national stage.
Jenna, you are right. The college is such the minor league people, even when you go to big programs. I went to Ohio State. Man, we got 52,000 students. We've been playing football, great football, putting guys in the league, winning Heisman trophies. It's not the pro environment. I was not ready for the city of Philadelphia. And one of the things that was shocking to me was, and we practice a lot more in the NBA, man, these NBA players, the amount of time they have on their hands, that is a major, major adjustment. He is just a kid. He hadn't done a whole bunch of traveling around, and getting used to being in New Orleans and people coming up to you is a lot different than Durham, North Carolina, and you're wearing that Dookies uniform.
So the adjustment will be like with any young person. He all of a sudden has a ton of money, new city, more free time. Those are legitimate concerns. The spotlight, to me, he had more nationally televised games at Duke than he will with the Pelicans. Like, if there is any college player we have seen, college player that I can remember, because LeBron was a high school player, who had the attention on him his 1 year in college that will equal what he has on him his first year in the pros, it's Zion. Zion is the most hyped rookie for a reason. The hype didn't come out of nowhere. It built throughout the season at Duke. So I don't think the spotlight is the adjustment. I do think the time on your hands, the money, the city, the thing that any 20-year-old that all of a sudden is generationally wealthy, that only has to be at work 4 hours a day, those types of things, those are concerns for everyone. But I think he's ready for the spotlight because he thrived in the spotlight at Duke. And Duke, being Zion Williamson at Duke is different than being a top player at almost any other program.
This is one thing where we should be alert to. We have some of our best players right now not thriving in the spotlight. Kyrie Irving was a phenom in high school, all right? He went to Duke. Half a season. Same Dookie exposure, same thing. We're starting to see Kyrie. How's he doing with that limelight? KD grew up in Washington, D.C. Man, he was a blue chip prospect. Best player in college basketball. Instant star in the NBA. He's kind of struggled. So let's not appropriate all these things with being successful. These guys are being covered in a different way. It is a huge adjustment, and we can't think that all of them will do well with that adjustment. Let's see. Let's see. He's a long way from home. Right. He came up in a small town in South Carolina, just like Ja. Let's see. Let's see how they go. I think that's the appropriate way, because now we got some guys that are struggling with that media attention.
Right. All right, we'll break there. Coming up is